This is Ken Pentel. I'm here at the state capitol with Alan. We thought we'd make a little stop, just visit. I'm feeling a sense of the election coming up. We got about a week to go, and I'm ready to do the job as governor. I'm excited about the election. I'm excited about all the activity that's necessary to become governor. And that means laying out the policies, giving people the vision, inspiration, and I've been able to travel, as everyone knows, all over the state, meeting a lot of people, sharing the ideas of an honest democracy and local sustainable energy and agriculture, single-payer universal health care. But this is getting deeper and deeper, and we're facing the issues more acutely as the election gets closer. Your choices are coming up. And I want you to think about your choice because a lot of people will struggle where their vote goes. And your vote matters. Your vote is a leverage. It makes a difference. It really catapults democracy towards a new direction if people start voting more honestly. Third parties, as we've talked about before, have been essential in moving forward liberation movements like ending slavery, women's right to vote, labor laws, as well as the Civil Rights Act. It was the Mississippi Freedom Party breaking away from the Democratic Party that helped move forward the Civil Rights Act in the United States. So we are part of a strong, long tradition that we've got to continue on. We've got to continue on. And the dominant interests, once again, will not resolve the problems we are facing that need focus. One, dealing with the democracy. If the dominant two parties are beholden to big money, they're not going to be willing to change that system. If they're beholden to a winner-take-all system, they're not going to want to go to proportional representation. We do see movement in the Democratic Party towards instant runout voting. The more we keep voting for Greens, the more we keep moving that agenda forward for instant runout voting. So the democracy piece cannot be overlooked, and yet you will not hear that as a major discussion among the dominant candidates. And unless we're hearing that first, then all the issues they talk about are basically just deceiving us. They're not giving us the pathway to get to that goal because we get crumbs. We're just going to get crumbs on the issues we care about. But if you want to talk about the issues, if we want to talk about where we want to go, once we get the democracy cleaned up, and once I'm in shape to move policy forward, like democracy, I want to go towards a local sustainable energy. I want to go towards a local sustainable agriculture. Secure our energy and food locally. So not only do we keep billions of dollars recycling locally, create 2 to 10 times more jobs, secure our basic needs in our communities, so we're not so dependent on this global craziness through the trade agreements, which is putting us at high risk, sending us into wars, displacing habitats, destroying habitats around the world for unsustainable practices. But, we're also talking about just the sense of integrity based upon what we leave future generations. What my generation has done to this generation is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. And I want to heal that condition. I want to reclaim a sense of honor and ethical nature towards treating future generations with decency and health, strength and endurance. These are the things we're talking about. This is the beauty of the possibility. This is the vision we're moving forward on. The basic issue of single-payer universal health care cannot be overlooked. No other candidate is talking about moving us towards single-payer. That's the key component in the healthcare, in the universal coverage. That is what we need to focus on because the single payer takes us from all this multi-payer craziness, takes us away from every individual having to buy their own insurance, to everyone seeing ourselves as part of a community, a pooling of resources. So single payer eliminates the HMO and multi-payers. It puts us in a place where we set the menu for the drugs, the hospitals, the doctors. It puts us in a place where we're born with health care, we have health care till we pass away. You get a new job, you have health care. You move, you have health care. No more co-pays. Nothing like that. We eliminate all that stress and tension in our society. That's a big step towards where I want to go as governor. But more importantly, there are other things that need to be talked about. One is, how do you approach the issues of taxation in our society. How I look at it is this: we are only as strong as the weakest among us. If we take resources from those that have the most and invest it in those that have the least, then the whole condition becomes stronger and healthier. For all of us, the richest and the poorest, it becomes better. So these are the goals we're talking about. This is what I'm looking towards. And I'll carry on my discussion in the next piece of this, talking about the issues of poverty, talking about the issues of community-based economics. We're going to talk about strengthening those efforts long-term as well. So we're no longer seeing massive centralization. But for now, I just wanted to get that across to you. I want you to know that there is a choice for you on November 7th. And that vote you have, if you agree with what I'm saying, means something. It sends a message. It moves the agenda. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to be the next governor. I'm grateful that I'm on the ballot. I'm grateful that you're willing to go to the polls and vote, because we got a planet going down. If we do not deal with the system we're dependent on, they will gut this planet. This planet will be used up on our watch unless somebody steps in. I'm ready to step in. I'm ready to take responsibility. I can't do it alone. Deneen cannot do it alone. We need your help. We need a collective effort that leads to collective courage to heal. That is what we're talking. Hi. I just wanted to talk about the issues around, I guess, what would you say, crime issues, justice. I want to make sure that we're clear on this discussion, that I want to move away as governor, away from punitive justice, basically jailing people for crimes in our community, to more restorative justice, where we understand the root causes of crimes and resolve that. And the only way we can do that is to start sitting down as a community, find out why are these problems persisting in certain areas. That's very important. One of the key areas, of course, as governor, I want to end the drug war. The issues of drugs, in my opinion, is generally a health issue. We need to look at it in such a way. Just like we look at alcohol, if we look at cigarettes, we look at a lot of drugs in our society. Pharmaceuticals, highly used drugs in our society, yet legalized in many respects. So this is one of my big issues, is to start talking about how we can resolve health problems and drugs rather than putting people away in prisons to resolve it. It's not working. We're taking a lot of decent people in our society. Most everyone knows, we've all experimented, most people do a drug of some kind or another in their life at some level. And then we mix non-violent people with violent people and create a crime culture. This is not solving the problem. Plus, I mean, treatment alone, about $2,500 a year. Staying in a prison cell is $25,000 to $35,000 a year. Economically, it makes no sense. Socially, it makes no sense. We're depleting people's ability, who may have made a miscue here or there in their use of drugs, depleting them of being a vital part of our citizenry as in our society. We need people engaged in our culture. We need to learn where problems start from and deal with it at the root cause. That is what I'm looking at. Much of this is tied to poverty, in my opinion, the issues of crime. Much of it is tied to the situation where we have neglected certain communities in economic investment. And we've seen those communities not have alternatives economically, so they pick crime as a culture. This is not absolute. There are some highly lethal and violent people in our society we do need to deal with and isolate. I believe that's the case. But generally, I am a governor who wants to go to a restorative approach in justice. That is my work as governor. I gotta stop this for a second. The other issues I want to talk about have to do with the issue of health care. When we talk about health care, I want to look at it holistically. One, I want to have zero discharge of persistent toxic chemicals, chemicals that build up in the food chain, in the state of Minnesota. A lot of these are tied to chlorinated compounds used in pesticides, herbicides, dry cleaning, in incinerators, plastics that get burned. I want to make sure that in the state of Minnesota, we are acknowledging the fact that we cannot have health as long as we dump indiscriminately